What's a better restorative material, titanium or zirconia? Well, the answer is they're both really good, but for different reasons. All right? So if you compare the mechanical properties of zirconia to titanium, the main difference that you want to focus on is not the strength, because they're both strong. Okay, so zirconia is strong and titanium is strong. The difference is toughness. Okay, toughness. Toughness is the ability of a material to absorb energy, and metals are really good at being tough. Okay, that's why we make hammers out of metal. That's why we make springs and coils for our cars are made out of metal. That's why the bucket on the front of an excavator is made out of metal. Right? Those things are not made out of an oxide like zirconia. They say, well, it's strong, but why wouldn't they make those things out of that? Because it's not tough. So what happens is that when you have a strong material, glass is strong, right? So glass, ceramics, oxides, they're all strong, but they have a property called brittleness. They're brittle. And so you can have crack propagation, you have catastrophic failure, it just breaks in half, right? This is why when you go to Home Depot, there are no zirconia hammers on the shelf. There are no zirconia hammers on the shelf at Lowe's or Home Depot. You can't buy them. And you would say, well, why not? Shouldn't somebody make a zirconia hammer? Well, they don't make them because they're brittle, which means that when you take it to the field and you start whacking something, it's going to break right away, right? You need something that's tough. So those are the main differences. And people really struggle with this because they say, well, what do you think about zirconia implants? And I say, I don't have a problem with zirconia implants. I have a problem with the toughness. And they go, what do you mean? I said, well, if you place a zirconia implant and the likelihood of a fracture is increased because it's not tough, when it breaks, you have to surgically remove it. And I don't like that idea. So my idea is use titanium, which is tougher, as the substrate. So for the implant, you get titanium. For the crown, zirconia is a beautiful solution. So, well, don't you have a double standard there? Well, no, I don't have a double standard there. If the crown breaks, I unscrew it and I screw in a new one, okay? I don't even have to get them numb. It's like changing the tire on a car, right? You just go and screw in a new implant, a new crown, and you're done. So zirconia as a restorative material is beautiful. It's great. It's strong, but if it breaks, it's easy to fix. So that's the difference between a crown and an implant. But I've had some people tell me, I don't get it. I don't get it, and I'm going to argue the point with you, and I want to argue the point. So I just realized that there's a way to maybe help you understand this. If you've been doing implants or you've been doing dentistry for a while, you remember back to the old days. And the old days were the porcelain fused to metal crowns, remember? And you'd say, well, we had these porcelain, which is tooth-colored and beautiful, that was fused to metal. Why did we do that? Well, the answer is very clear. What we wanted to do is take advantage of the toughness of the metal and the beauty of the ceramic, right? So we took porcelain and we fused it to metal so we could get both. Because left to itself, the ceramic wasn't strong enough at the time to hold the loads, and it would crack because it's brittle. Well, now when we go to full mouth restorations, we have a kind of a new solution. It's not new, but the implementation is new and very exciting. And that is what they call the I-bar, or the metal framework under your full arch solutions. And so in cases where you don't have enough crown height space, so from the intaglio surface of the prostheses to the incisal edge of the teeth that you're building, the new prostheses, if it's not very tall, it's weak. That's a mechanical issue. Mechanical. There's no arguing. If it's not tall, it's going to be weak. If it's weak, the possibility of fracture goes up. Okay, so the possibility of your prostheses having a complication goes up. So what the labs can do now is they can design your prostheses. They can look at it and they can say, there's not a lot of height here, and they can call you and they can say, based on the fact that we don't have a lot of height, crown height space, would you like for us to move to an I-bar, which is a milled titanium bar that perfectly matches with the zirconia overlay that goes over the whole thing. So imagine a porcelain fused to crown, but it's a zirconia on top of titanium for the entire full arch solution that's assembled together in the laboratory and sent to you as one piece. It's a beautiful solution for people who are doing, especially for people that are doing, quote, FP1 or FP2 types of solutions. Why? Because those inherently are not, they don't have much connector space. So the area of the material between the teeth is historically small if you're doing regular crown and bridge on regular teeth, right? That's your weak spot. So you want your connector space to be tall. So when you're doing FP1s, you don't have a lot of crown high space. So if you're doing FP1s and you're not placing a lot of implants, your spans are long. So if the distance between the implants, like an all-on-4, if the distance is really large, you have a lot of pontics, which means you have a lot of flexure. If you have a lot of flexure and you have a brittle material like a zirconia, there's a real high chance that you're going to have a catastrophic failure. And remember, many times these catastrophic failures don't happen right away. They require a number of cycles for them to propagate. And the unfortunate thing about that is that when something breaks a number of years after delivery, sometimes we wash and absolve ourselves of that responsibility. And many times it is our responsibility, our industry's responsibility, because the original solution wasn't engineered properly for longevity. It got them out the door, it got them a beautiful smile, and they've been able to use it for a couple of years. But then when it breaks, it actually is our issue because we didn't engineer it right. Well, with these eye bars, and you can put where you can place the titanium underneath the zirconia, so you don't see it, you now have a beautiful hybrid of the two products, the zirconia for the strength and the beauty, and the titanium for the strength and the toughness, together in one solution. So if you haven't tried it, look into the eye bars from your dental laboratories. If you don't have a dental laboratory that can help you, Chameleon Dental Laboratories makes these all the time. It's someone that I use, and you could reach out to them. I'm Dr. Robert Stanley, the Smile Engineer. If you like this video, please give us a like and subscribe for more.